finally made it out. Andy's dragged me out. Where is he? There he is. We're heading somewhere over the back of there. Must admit, a little bit nervous, but very excited.
You know, Duke of Edinburgh, that. There's some coming down off the Grinslow here.
Look at this. Awesome. See for miles today. You can see all the orange backpack covers from the Duke of Edinburgh kids that Andy was on about. Did you do it like that when you were a kid?
What, the Duke of Edinburgh?
Yeah.
No. I was in Scouts me when I was young. So that was my art newer stuff.
See, I never did anything. I went to Scouts once and I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was boring.
Oh, I didn't. I think that's what planted seed for me when I was young.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years old, I just loved it.
I think I missed that.
Ah.
Not too shabby, is it, mate?
No. Lovely viewpoint from here, isn't it?
Gorgeous. I think that's why they call it Ringing Roger, because my ears are ringing with wind. Normal service is resumed. Where's that path again, Andy?
Here somewhere.
Not a breath of wind around this end. Midges though, isn't there? Ah, falling over. We do not want to fall over here. So I did say I was going to be bringing a tarp and bivvy. Changed my mind. Yeah. Out of practice, look. So Andy's just filming a little bit of video. He's going through his gear setup. I'll come out of the way for a bit. I'll show you around the tent when he's done. This isn't a bad little spot though, is it? Been here before. Look at that view. Beautiful. It's a little bit breezy though. Let's have a look. Only 12, 13 mile an hour. Feeling good today. So some of my recent videos have been quite talky videos. I still feel like I've got a lot to say. So this one might be a talky video as well yet. I was thinking a bit of a theme though. So we were talking early on about when we were younger. So I might be talking about what I did as a kid. How that might have influenced me getting outdoors. See if it matches up with sort of things Andy was getting up to. So Andy's all set up. Finished filming his little gear load out. So if you want to see what he's got, make sure you watch his video. My tent set up. So there's going to be winds up to 30 kilometres an hour. Seems to be holding up all right. Like a palace in there though. Loads of room. I think I'm going to get some supper. These are just tinned ones. Got some veggies in the pot. They're starting to brown lovely. That's going to have to do for everything. Hand's not big enough to get everything in at once, so looks like taters as a starter. I haven't bought a plate either, so chopping board will have to do. Five-second rule. Oh yeah, almost as good as dehydrated meals. I'm hoping there's room in the pan for this. Oh, do not want to drop this. Look at that. Et voila. Steak au Messner. Get some of that flavourage on there. Some right chill on the gas canister. Happy days. Oh, perfect. Is it getting better than this? Job done. Look at the colours in the sky. Beautiful. Got a time lapse going over there. I don't know if it'll be any good or not. It's starting to get a little bit chilly now. It's 10 o'clock. We've still got a decent amount of light left. The sky's been fabulous this evening. You're making me feel guilty now, mate.
Nah, I much prefer this. Keep your steak.
Oh, this is perfect, this. Like a little dip, just for my arse to fit in. Gorgeous night, isn't it?
Yeah. And some nice colour in the sky over there, aren't there?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for inviting me out anyway.
Always.
Needed it, mate. Needed it.
You know, you're always welcome.
So, bit of a theme to this one. So it started off with, you mentioned about the Duke of Edinburgh, all the kids and stuff. I never did any of this when I was a kid. In fact, I'd never been to Peak District when I was a kid, other than Blue John Mines. And I hadn't been I've never been proper camping or anything like that. It was only like back garden with mates and stuff like that. Never went camping with my family. When did you start?
I say, I used to be in scouts and that when I was young. Never did any of that Duke of Edinburgh stuff, but then through school, one of my science teachers, Steve Watts, Mr. Watts, chemistry teacher, he was a rambler and a bit of a camper.
Yeah.
So he used to take some of me and some of my mates on the weekends, walking in Peak District, Lake District. We used to go camping with him and that. And it was sort of that where I just used to be, you know, he'd take us walking and that, and I was absolutely fascinated with it. You know, I never, I'm not talking like striding edging lakes or all like that, but you know, nice gentle walks in summer holidays, you know, like spring break and stuff like that. Me and one of the lads who used to go out a lot with him, Robert, he'd take us off and we'd do a week's worth of camping with him in Lake District and go off walking the hills and that, and I just used to love it. Just you know, getting out.
You see, things were a bit different when we were kids. You know, I remember like Saturdays, for example, I'd get up 9 o'clock and I'd go out. My mum, dad didn't have a clue where I was till I came in and it was dark again. Yeah. But nowadays, you know, you won't let your kids go and do that now when you're
no.
10, 11 year old or whatever you are. You used to go and wander wherever we wanted.
Yeah.
And you know, my thing for outdoors was, you know, we used to go down the woods and make dens and stuff like that, and odd little, you know, light a fire sort of thing, and like put something on a stick, a marshmallow or something like that. But
that's the type of thing we used to do as well. You know, not only that, doing what I used to do, but we used to do things like that up in woods, especially autumn time, went to chestnuts.
Yeah.
Those up in West Egg Woods in Grindford, where I grew up as a kid. There was a lot of chestnut trees up there, sweet chestnut trees. So we used to go up, pick a boatload of chestnuts, go into it was like to find we used to sit there roasting chestnuts on fire. As you know, I'm talking like 9, 10, 11 year old here.
Yeah, long before you learnt about leave no trace and stuff like that, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I say you blame kids. Now, the difference is we never wrecked anything. It'd just be a little fire or something like that, maybe. But
well, we always used to have the same place that we used to go to.
Yeah.
Deep inside woods where nobody else knew. We used to build this tree house and we used to have us little fire and everything. And I suppose even back then as kids, it's a different generation now, isn't it? But back then as a kid, I can always remember you'd had an inbuilt respect.
Yeah.
You know, and
you knew you were going to get a bollocking if you made a mess or you tore something up or anything like that. But there were no things like kids now. They're constantly glued to internet, and as adults, we do it too much. Phones are always in our hand and stuff like that. It takes over a little bit. But there was none of that when you were a kid. You had a Spectrum. That was about it. Yeah. But most of the time you were out kicking a football, you know, causing havoc.
Yeah. Building trolleys. Something else we used to do as kids, build trolleys. We built a track, a downhill track. We used to build trolleys out of old bits of wood and pram wheels. You know,
little go-karty kind of things. Yeah.
Well, the kids do that now.
They don't. Nothing like that.
Get your son out, and go and play out in woods or something. Now I'm playing on my computer. I'm playing games on my phone and that. It's just so different in it now.
Yeah, they don't know they're born. I remember knocking on doors and stuff like that, asking people if they wanted the car washing and stuff like that. So I earned a few quid to go into Mansfield with my mates to watch a film or something. Yeah, nothing like that. Kids just click the fingers, they got it. Christmas was a big thing. That's the only time you really got out. Now, they're getting it all year round.
Yeah.
Christmas is just another day, just about.
And they expect it as well now, don't they?
Yeah.
Back then it was, you know, birthdays and Christmas, like you're saying, it was a special time of year to look forward to, earn it, your birthdays and Christmas. But like you said, now kids just expect stuff all the time, don't they? And it ain't bloody cheap, is it?
No, don't know they're born. So as you're young and she get outdoors at all? My kids are not bothered. I've tried to get them into it.
Well, my daughter?
Daughter,
yeah. She does. She does and she doesn't. Leonie's 19, Cameron's 18. They don't drink alcohol. She drinks Coke and he drinks apple tizer. They go out and have a meal and that's it. That's them.
You say they don't drink it though. The kids are much more switched on than us. So like I say, when we're hanging about parks and the woods and stuff like that, you might, you know, nick a bottle of beer or something from someone's dad's shed or something like that. They're drinking in the park. kids don't seem to do that. I don't think so anyway. My kids haven't. They just, they're well spoken, they're polite, but they don't cause any trouble. But they're at home, and I think they're missing out a little bit on some of the growing up fun adventures. I think, but they're much more knowledgeable than I ever was when it comes to things like the environment and stuff like that. So we bang on about leave no trace and stuff like that, but there's kids today that they're wanting to save the world basically with environmentally friendly stuff and recycling and all that. Where at that age, we didn't give a shit about anything like that, did we? It was just recycling for us was giving your bottles back when when the pop man used to come round or whatever it was.
Ben Shaw.
You get the bottles back, you get 10p or whatever.
Dandelion and burdock lemonade. Just glass bottles, didn't you? If you give your bottles back, you got something like 10 pence back off, didn't you?
Those were days.
No, there's none of that now, is there?
Nah.
I say we're in a totally different generation now, and it's different times. Like you've just been saying there, when I was a kid, you'll have been saying there were no getting on phones and organising this, that and other, to where we're going, this, that and other. You used to have to go knocking on the door, didn't you?
Yeah.
Knocking on your mate's door. Where's, my mate.
So-and-so coming out,
Yeah. You're Dale in? No, he's up Woodcock. Oh, bloody hell. All right, see you later. So you'd spend half an hour traipsing round woods or your known spots where everybody used to go.
Yeah.
trying to find your mates then.
But yeah, so it's a totally different world now. Some of the technology and the advances that we've got now is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm filming this now on a phone, which basically you can control your life with it, and it sort of controls your life sometimes. Yeah. And back then when we were kids, there was nothing like this. Yeah. Computers were just starting to come into play, where you're playing little block ping pong games and stuff like that.
And Ataris.
Yeah, and is it better now that we've got all this technology, or do you reckon that things were better when we were younger? Would you, if you could go back to that, and that's how life was then? But, would you do that, or would you stick with the technology and improvements? Cause
I'd go back to what I did as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can be doing like what we did.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of life experience as you're growing up in it.
Yeah.
To what we did, to what they do now. They teach all this in school now, don't they? Whereas what we got taught in school were different to what they get taught now. It's just.
I haven't got a clue what they're on about at school now.
No. I mean, like you get on about social media and things like this. Some of that stuff scares me because, I mean, I'm not on TikTok and that Snapchat or something, is it?
Yeah.
They know where they all are.
Oh, there's tracking. Do you think with social media?
You phone and find out where all the mates are, and they'll say so-and-so's at all, is at Meadowhall.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Because I can see him on map here. What do you mean on map? I'm like, crikey, I used to have to go knocking on my mate's doors, me.
Running around all day and still not find them.
Yeah.
But also, when we were kids, if you got bullying, for example, if you went to school and it was your turn, I was quite lucky because I wasn't like in with the really trendy kids, but I went with the untrendy kids, you say, out middle of the road, and people like me from all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And we had a good group of lads, and we all took piss out of each other, and we all got our turn of being like, what's the word? it's bullying at the end of the day, but it was a piss taken out of you. But tomorrow it was someone else's turn.
Yeah.
But you'd go home, and that's it. You could get some peace from it and know that tomorrow it was someone else's go.
Yeah.
But now with this social media, if you have an accident and you in PE, if someone sees you've got skid marks or something like that, now it's on the internet and the whole world can see it, and your life's ruined. Whereas back then you just get the piss taken out of you from it.
You get piss taken out of you for 5-10 minutes, but then like say the day after it was forgotten about, and it was somebody else's turn to have the ribs wrapped in it.
Not that I had skid marks, by the way, in PE. I might have done, but I never got caught out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
it's a
you
totally
used to be
different
able
world.
to, you know, I would have been a ruffian at school. You used to have a bloody scrap. Teachers would come out, break it up, and then next day your mates again.
Well, say I had a fight with one of my mates. We were sat in the lesson, and we were best mates. And someone asked the question, like, who was the hardest out of the pair of us? Yeah. And I'd say it was me, and he said it was him. And it ended up, you go down the school field sort of thing,
Yeah.
and all these people crowd round you.
Fake.
None of that anymore. And we had a fight, and it was the most pathetic thing in the world. I think there might have been 2 punches or something like that. And then we're mates again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Nowadays it's all this online bullying, innit? And
yeah. And I preferred it back then. You know, you had a bit of an argument or a Barney or whatever it would be, and it was forgotten about.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you know, there's that much exposure and stuff like that. Horrible for the kids.
I mean, I look at, you know, now they call it cyberbullying, don't they? Online bullying. Look at, when you look into it, how many young'uns, and it's all young'uns, innit? Young lasses and young lads, early teens, and they're taking their lives.
I know.
Because things have been said about them online, or they've posted a video and they've had Mick Technart and it goes viral, and they can't live with the sense. There were none of that back when we were kids.
No.
It's just it's bloody crackers.
Right.
You've got a good clout out here, or if your mother or your father.
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, parents
there's no
really touch the kids.
There's no smacked arses anymore. That's a fact. So when I was at junior school, the headmaster, Jeff Sells, he was friends with my mum and dad. He used to play in the quiz league, and it was called the Slipper, but it wasn't a slipper. It was like Krusty the Clown's bloody trainer. It was a trainer about this long, size 18 or something silly like that. And if you're naughty, you got it across arse, either in his office. Occasionally, I'd seen people, in assembly where they bent them over like the apparatus or something, and whacked them with it. Anyway, there was this one time. My mum and dad, they live on a corner street, so like a crossroads. And we used to play football across the corners, goalposts on this little grass bit. And my dad was coming out for a shovel of coal, and whoever were in goal had just let one in, and I called him an effing idiot or something like that, just as my dad was coming out.
Aye.
So, as my dad did, he dragged me in, cracked me arse, and then my mum went down to school, had a word with Jeff, and says, has he learnt these words from school? Has he swearing at school? So I got my arse cracked at school as well by a headmaster for something that I'd done at home.
Yeah. But your mother and father, they were all right with it, weren't they?
Yeah. But that's the thing, my mum, when I was in the secondary school, I got put on daily report because I was hanging around with wrong crowd for a little bit. And my grades were suffering a bit because I was slacking, shall we say. And then when I came off the report, my mum went and says, "Can you put him back on it?" Yeah, so that's what my parents were like. They wanted the best for me, and they still do. But very unorthodox parenting, I say. I wouldn't have dreamed of going down to school. Although, if any of my kids when they were younger, if they were really rude to a teacher, wouldn't have bothered me if the teacher had smacked their arse. Because that's the sort of generation I'm from. But
you know what I'm saying? We had
times have changed.
Yeah, our head teacher at Shafton first school without, infant school, up to sort of been about 10, 11, sort of a year old, and you went to Willowgarth, what's known as Willowgarth High School. Our head teacher there, I can always remember it. I can't remember his first name, but it was Mr. Skipworth, because we used to call him Skippy. And that what's saying. You either got cane across, like that, and you got cane straight across fingers, wrapped over fingers, or you got, and he used to wear the slippers, he used to take the slipper off and get a belt over arse. they did something like that, they'd be reporting them to coppers.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be like child abuse and this and that other. And
Well, that's another thing. So obviously, it's a real condition and all that kind of stuff. But there's more and more people now, and children that have got things like ADHD and other attention disorders that have an effect on their behaviour. When we were kids, you know, there was no such thing as, well, there may have been, but there was no diagnosis for it. You were just a naughty little shit, and you got your arse cracked for it. So, and to be fair, in most cases, it cured people, didn't it? So, I don't know.
I sometimes think nowadays, you know, going back to that, some kids nowadays, they're short of a bloody good hiding. You know what I mean? It's like they think they can do what they want, some of them, and, you know, as parents, we all love as kids, but sometimes you just think, you need a freaking good hiding, you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When we say good hiding, we don't mean, you know, beat them to a pulp.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the term that was used when we were kids. It was maybe a little smack on arse, but you know, syllable ones where your mum used to go, "You will not do that again."
That's just a term we use.
My dad used to hate it because I'd wriggle like hell, and he used to end up like hitting my knee or my hip or something like that, and he'd hurt his hand more than he hurt me. Oh dear.
Good old.
I hope you watch this one, Dad.
Good old days.
It's been a really good night tonight. Me and Andy have had a really good night. Put the world to rights. Feeling much better. It's been good for me. I think it's been good for Andy as well. It's been nice. Glad to be in this quilt though. It's bloody freezing out there. Anyway, gonna get my head down and we'll see if the morning brings a sunrise. Need a minute to dial my eyes in. It's bright, but a bit fresh this morning. Need to be careful on here. Whoa, not bad at all. New coffee cup. Comfort smaller one. Perfect for coffee. Mexican scrambled eggs. I've tried this one before. Can't really sit in my tent when I've got that view, can I? Might as well have my coffee while I'm waiting for my eggs to rehydrate. I've got a brand new, slightly larger X mug to give away, so that's going to be over on the website. So if you want to have a go at winning one of these, then there's a link in the description below. Sweet corn flying all over. So I've already made a little modification on the tent. So the wind changed direction through the night, southerly wind, and this crossbar was like bending, so it was twisting around like that, which I was concerned about this tent in the wind. We've had the little gadgets out, and I got 22 mph gusts, and he got up to 28 on his. So what I've done to add a little bit of extra stability, so I got my walking pole in, put it in this reinforced bit at the top, there's like a little loop in there, so I've got this guy running through that loop holding it into position, then just down there. So now, although the big panels flap, which you expect on a tent like this, the actual pole structure is solid now. Done the same around the other side, so it's about 20 mile an hour at the minute. Not going anywhere. Definitely feel much more comfortable, you know, having that little bit of extra support in the poles. So as you know, I do like my gear. The fancy tents with the fancy materials, but things haven't really changed that much since we were younger. You know, you look at Patrick Dickinson's channel, you know, he's still using gear that he bought in the 70s and the 80s. Not all the time, but it still works. And if you get decent kit and look after it, it will last you years. And although materials might be lighter, a little bit more waterproof, it's still basically the same. It's a sheet that keeps the rain off you, something to insulate you from the ground, and then a blanket or any old sleeping bag. In most cases will do the job. Timing work this while camping, isn't it?
It's very tiring.
Hey, I'm not going to film taking my tent down or anything like that. I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure to check out Andy's channel, especially if you want to see all that gear that he's got there. Thanks a lot for inviting me along, mate. Loved it.
You're always welcome.
Thank you. I can't wait to get back out again, so I'll see you next time.